this video, we will going to create a Python tutorial about how to create a Python program using this. First is datetime module. The second is interactive email validator using regular expressions. And the third one is the error or exception handling. And let's proceed to our tutorial. The first is, what is datetime module in Python? In Python programming language, datetime is a single module. This means that it is not two separate data types. You can import this datetime module in such a way that they work with dates and times. Datetime is a built-in Python module. With the datetime module, you get to work with different classes that work perfectly with date and time. Within these classes, you can get a range of functions that deal with dates, times, and different time intervals.
Ayan, na-open na natin yung ating idle app sa ating laptop. And now, we're going to create a program about creating a current date and time using this app. And just type import datetime. Ayan, dito, itong datetime, itong import datetime, ito yung magsisilbing library ng ating program. And we need to import the datetime sa loob ng ating program. And sa loob ng program na to, kailangan natin na mag-isip ng any variables na pwedeng mag-represent sa program na itatype natin. And pwede nyo i-type ang A. Yan, ito yung variable natin. Type equal datetime. And dito, yung datetime, ito yung magsisilbing module ng ating program. Ayan. Ayan na, na-type na natin yung datetime. And then, type datetime again. And type that now. Yan. Dito, ano ba yung mangyayari? Dito, yung now, itong now, ito yung magiging function natin na magbibigay ng current time sa program na to. And itong function na ito, na now, ay belong sa datetime class. And ito yung datetime class natin. Yan. And yung datetime class naman ay is part din ng datetime module. Ito naman yung datetime module natin. Ayan. And with this, the now function and the datetime class and the datetime module is will be given the current date and time. At lahat ng to is belong sa variable A. Yan. Ito yung variable A natin. And after that, we will type the print A. Yan. Ano ba yung mangyayari if we run this program? And as you can, ito, save natin. Then run. And as you can see, ito, lumabas yung date ngayon at yung current time ngayon. And today is May 28, 2024. Ito siya. Ayan. And our current time is 1:58. And ayan, ito siya, 13:58. Ayan. Ito yung ating current time ngayon. Ayan. And yan. And kung gusto nyo rin na i-code yung date, just type any variable again. And yan. Type ulit tayo ng any variable. Type B equal. Ayan. Na-type na natin yung variable natin para sa ating date. Ayan. Type datetime. Dot. Ayan. Ito yung ating module sa program natin ngayon. And dot date. Ito naman yung magsisilbing date class natin. Ito yung class. And type today. Ayan. Ayan. Now, with this, yung today, ito na may magre-represent ng ating function sa program natin. And which already defined sa loob ng ating date class. Ayan, ito yung date class natin. And dito sa, you don't need to be confused kung gagana ba or hindi. Ang kailangan nyo lang gawin ay itong today function ay maging part siya ng ating date class. Ayan. Ayan. And dito, yung today function is magre-return dito sa ating date class. And yung date class is magre-return din sa ating date time. At lahat ng to is given sa ating variable na B. Itong variable na B. Yan. After that, type print B. Ayan. Save natin. Then, run. Ayan. Ayan. Ito yung output ng program na nirun natin. Ayan. Ito, lumabas yung date ngayon, which is May 28, 2024, and the current time, ayan, 2 p.m. It's already 2 p.m. na po. Ayan. Ayan. And now, kung gusto nyo rin naman i-code din yung hours, yung today, minutes, or second, or anything, you can also type, wait lang, delete natin to. You can also type just print a dot, since una yung r, you don't need to include the s, or diba, r's, hindi nyo na kailangan i-include yung s, just hour lang. Ayan. And the next is print a dot minute. Ayan. Ganon din sa minute. You don't need to include the letter S. And the third one is print a dot second. Ayan. Ayan. Then, save natin. And if we run this program, the output is this. Ayan. Dito, pinakita yung current R, which is 2. Or 14. Ayan. Nakikita nyo naman. Same din siya. Same lang. 14. And the minutes. Ayan. Makikita nyo na. Ayan. Same din siya na nandito. And the third one is the seconds. Or second. Ito siya. Ito yung current second. And same lang din siya. And that's all for this program. And I hope you get the concept about getting the current time and date using this Python program. Or using this item.
The second one is what is interactive email validator using regular expressions in Python. An interactive email validator is a program that takes user input of an email address and checks its validity based on a set of predefined rules using regular expressions or regex. Regular expressions are a sequence of characters that define a search pattern, often used for pattern matching with strings. The interactive validator continuously prompts the user to enter email addresses, evaluates them against the regex pattern, and provides immediate feedback on whether the email addresses are valid or not.
In this tutorial, we will be creating a simple yet powerful email validator program using regular expressions. Email validation is a common task in web development and data processing, and Python's regular expression module makes it easy to implement. First, make sure you have Python installed on your system. You can download and install Python from python.org if you haven't already. We will be using the REM module, which provides support for working with regular expressions in Python. Regular expressions are patterns used to match character combinations in strings. They are incredibly versatile and powerful for text processing tasks like email validation. So, let's get started. First, we import the REM module, which allows us to work with regular expressions in Python. We will use our regular expressions to define a pattern for valid email addresses. Here, we define a function called isValidEmail that takes an email address as input. And returns true if the email is valid according to a regex pattern. In this program, the caret is used at the beginning of the pattern. You can see it here. To ensure the email address starts matching from the beginning of the string. Next, we create the main function, which is the entry point of our program. As you can see, we print a welcome message and instructions for the user. Then, we enter a while loop. As you can see, we enter a while loop that continues indefinitely until the user decides to exit by typing exit. Exit. So, inside the loop, we prompt the user to enter an email address. If the user enters exit, we print a goodbye message and break out of the loop. Otherwise, we call the isValid email function to check if the entered email is valid, and we print the result. Now, let us save the file. Let's save the file as email underscore validator. And run the program. That's it. We have successfully created an email validator using Python and regular expressions. Now, you can input any email address and the program will tell you if it's valid or not. That's all. Thank you for watching.
The last is, what is error and exception handling in Python? Exception handling differs from error handling in that the former involves condition an application might catch but versus serious problems an application might want to avoid. In contrast, error handling helps maintain the normal flow of software program execution. How is exception handling used? If a program has a lot of statements and an exception happens halfway through its execution, the statements after the exception do not execute, and the program crashes. Exceptions handling helps ensure this does not happen when an exception occurs.
At ang magiging topic naman po natin ngayon ay ang error or exception handling. First, kailangan po muna natin pumunta sa ating Python or sa ating IDLE. Then, once na makaproceed tayo dito, kailangan natin mapindot yung new file. Once na napindot na natin to, pwede na tayong mag-start. Again, ang magiging topic natin ay ang error or exception handling. First, ang gagawin natin ay maglalagay tayo ng import sysmodule kasi ito yung magsisilbing access natin para sa ating mga variables upang mas madali itong ma-interpret. Then, d is equal to integer input, enter your denominator. And then, next, result equal. Mapapansin nyo na wala tayong ginawang parang ganito para sa ating numerator. Kasi yung ating numerator ay magiging given na. Let's for, say, example, gusto natin 20 ang ating numerator and then over d. Print result. Tingnan natin if mag-run siya or hindi. Pero bago yon, kailangan natin siyang isave para if ever na biglaan natin itong ma-exit, ay nakasave siya sa ating file. Lagay natin error or exception handling. Save natin. Hindi lang natin ito ng ilang minuto, then lalabas na. Enter your denominator. Kung yung numerator natin ay 20, let's say for example, ang gusto nating denominator ay 5, then kaya ang lalabas 4 kasi 20 over 5 is equal to 4. Paano naman kapag gusto nating 0 ang ating denominator, ano kayang lalabas? Let's try. Lagay natin 0 ang ating denominator. Mapapansin natin dito may nakalagay na traceback. And then, mapapansin natin kung ano ba yung naging error natin. Yun yung zero division error. Ano nga bang ibig sabihin nito? Ito yung bawal tayo mag-divide gamit ang 0 kasi sa kahit anong number naman talaga, bawal tayo mag-divide kapag 0. And then, paano ba natin masosolusyonan yung ganito interruption? Ang kailangan lang natin maglagay ng try, except block. Dito, mali yan. Dito dapat. Then, try. Then, kailangan natin ipasok ang mga ito. Then, maglalagay tayo ng except. Ang error natin kanina kasi, ang naging error natin kanina ay ang zero division error. Kaya ilalagay natin ito. Zero division error. Maglalagay lang tayo dito ng print. Bawal ang denominator ay 0. That's all. And then, titingnan natin kung mag-e-error pa rin ang ating ginawang ito, kung lalabas pa rin itong ating zero division error, or ito na ang ating lalabas. Try na ulit natin siyang i-run. Try natin. Try ulit natin yung 0. Bawal ang denominator ay 0. Nasolusyon na natin yung ganitong interruption. Pero, how about kung ang maging denominator naman natin ay hindi number, kundi word or letter? Let's say, example, ang gusto nating denominator ay ang gusto nating denominator ay maging chicken. Sa tingin nyo kaya gagana ito? Siyempre, hindi. Nakalagay dito, value error. Kasi hindi naman siya number kung hindi letters or word. Paano ba natin masosolusyonan yung ganitong error? Nakalagay dito, value error. So, parang yung ginawa lang natin dito sa ating zero division error, maglalagay lang ulit tayo ng except. Pero papalitan natin ang value error. Then, colon. Print. Bawal ang hindi number. Tingnan natin ulit kung gagana ba ito or magba-value error ulit. Hindi na chicken yung ilalagay natin. Halimbawa, ang nilagay ko ay yung hotdog. Tingnan natin kung value error ba siya o yung nilagay na natin na sa ating print. Hindi na siya nag-error, na solusyonan natin yung ganitong problema. Ang lumabas ay bawal ang hindi number. Pwede din naman tayo maglagay ng except exception as pwede tayo maglagay nito in case na meron tayong hindi inaasahang nangyayari or pangyayari. Lagay natin something went wrong. And then maglagay tayo ng sad face. And then close parenthesis again. And then pwede din naman tayo maglagay ng else. Pwede tayo maglagay ng else sa hulihan para ang ating result na lalabas ay only if there's no exception. Maglagay tayo, else. Maglagay tayo ay print result. Nakalimutan natin ang ating quotation. Dahil naglagay na tayo dito ng print result, technically, aalisin na natin dito yung ating print result. And then, para sa panghuli naman natin gagawin, kailangan natin maglagay ng finale. Kasi, gumagana ito whether or not exception. Kasi para mag-execute ang ating code, kasi ito yung magsisilbing final clause. Lalagay lang natin ay print executed. Try ulit natin gawin yung mga nauna natin ginawang code, kung gagana ba sila or hindi. Simulan muna natin sa normal. Like, yung 20 over sa 4. May naging error tayo dito. Ano yung naging error natin dito? May nakalimutan tayo dito. Sys exit. And then 1. Kaya siguro siya nag-error kasi nakalimutan natin ito. Ating sys exit. Try ulit natin kung gagana ba siya or hindi. Hintayin lang ulit natin ng ilang saglit. And then 4. Ating denominator result. Ano ang naging mali natin? Yun yung nilagyan natin ito na quotation kasi nababasa itong ating ito yung naging result, kaya yung hindi yung mismong result dito yung nalabas. Lalagyan natin siya dito na again, nagkamali tayo. Make sure nyo always na tama at hindi pamali-mali like yung naging error ko dito, naglagay ako dito ng quotation mark kahit hindi naman kailangan. Try again natin yung 4 kung lalabas na yung final answer. Lumabas na yung ating final answer which is 5 kasi 20 over 4 is equal to 5. Try naman natin kapag 0 naman yung lalabas, kung ito ba yung lalabas or hindi. 0 and then bawal ang denominator ay 0. And then paano naman kapag letters ang nilagay natin or word. Kung ano ba yung lalabas. Ang bawa ay pizza. Ang nilagay natin, ano kayang lalabas? Bawal ang hindi number executed. And that's it. Yan yung paraan natin kung paano ba natin ma-handle yung mga interruption na nangyayari sa ating code. Ito yung kailangan natin siyang gamitan ng error or exception handling. And that's all. Thank you sa pakikinig. I hope na may natutunan kayo sa simple na ating discussion about dito sa ating error, exception, handling.